Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel, whether you're new or you're coming back. Got my pre-Halloween outfit today. I am going to an event, that's why, but yeah, I decided why not. I'm gonna record my reading. Not sure if it's the appearance of a medieval sorceress or something of the kind. You be the judge. Let me know in the comments if you have some ideas of how you would call this look. And it's like a very long dress basically going down. Okay, in the meantime, let's get on with our reading. It's gonna be a classic daily read for today, so we're gonna check what's going on with Divine Feminine Collective, Divine Masculine Collective, and the connection at this time. I do have all of the decks that I need. We will post some messages between the twins for sure. And as always, I'm starting with an oracle deck. Today it's the Sacred Traveler deck, and the first card I'm gonna pull is gonna be for Divine Feminines. And by the way, don't forget to click the like button on the video, to leave a comment, to share the video, and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Wandering path, enjoy the journey. Lovely, very feminine energy here. And yeah, sometimes it's hard to take a break. That's what I'm getting here, big time. The request to take a break, like stop for a minute, enjoy where you are, wherever you are, right? Find that joy in the moment. Or if you cannot enjoy it because you are in the middle of something stressful situation, exit the situation and get yourself into something that will give you that joy. And ideally, that's another message for someone. You should have those practices that give you joy on the daily basis. Like, there definitely should be times where it's your time and you know that you need it because it's something that brings you joy, brings you happiness, grounds you, balances you. For example, one of my daily practices is a walk, is like an hour-long walk in the area where I live. And trust me, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially because the area where I live right now, like, we have our own territory, with around my apartment building, which is lovely. But there's not a lot of walking distance there. And definitely not enough for me to do I've got my Fitbit, so I'm doing my steps, my mileage, I'm putting my steps in more of a cardio, even exercise manner, because that's what I need. And that's what I enjoy doing. So I had to kind of create like a map, a virtual map in my mind of my route that I can take every day, and that can get me to the steps that I'm looking for, that could get me to places that I need to be at, or whatever, right? Like, I have several options. And none of it is super like enjoyable. It's not all park area. We have all kinds of areas here. But it was about building the habit, and now I almost don't notice it anymore. Yeah, there's still some places that I pass that are not the most enjoyable parts of town. But I do have those that I really, really enjoy, especially the riverside walk. And I just love it. And this is such a mandatory part of my day. Like, I need to put in my walk, my steps, it's my meditation practice, if you wish, in like the dynamic meditation practice. And at the very least, I have that. Like, even if I'm hustling all around, I'm like on schedule, have a lot of calls, deadlines, decisions to make. It's a very, very rare occasion when I don't have my walk. In all other circumstances, if the weather is bad, then I'll definitely make sure then, like, unless it's like, raining and thunderstorm all day long, like entire day, then I probably won't be going anywhere. But if there are times when it's not raining or it's just drizzling, I'll definitely make sure that I make time during that time slot, even if it's in the middle of the day, when I'm kind of busy. Usually I'm busy, but I will make that time because that's super important for me. And that's bringing me joy, most importantly. It's very good for my body, for my health, but most importantly, it's bringing me joy. Okay, for masculine. So don't forget about those things, especially if you are down, if you're not having a great day. it's super important to get yourself into that space where you are doing something joyful for your body, mind, and soul. If you don't have those daily practices, that's a good tip for someone to start doing it. For the masculines, we have Journey by Moonlight, Believe in Magic. Yeah, so we are in the eclipse season, and the eclipses are happening between the new moon and the full moon, so we're kind of more tied to the lunar cycle than usually. And yeah, it's basically for the masculines, it's this full journey, full energy to trust, to believe, and to open your eyes to the magic around you. That's what I'm getting actually. Another message here is that magic is all around us. It's not just about something groundbreaking, something that, David Copperfield style. No. It happens, again, on a daily basis, if you have the eyes to notice. And the more you notice, Divine Masculines, the more it's going to be happening for you. That's the magic on its own, in its own right. Okay, let's get on with tarot. I've got this custom deck by Sophia Charles today. I don't use it very often, but it's probably the most expensive deck that I have. But yeah, there is a bit of a history there, but the cards are pretty cool, so let's do it. Today I was guided to pick up this deck. Still don't know when I'm going to Hawaii which decks I'm going to be bringing with me, because I don't think I'm going to be bringing all of them. It's just going to be a separate suitcase, which I cannot afford to bring, a suitcase of cards. But yeah, I'll need to be choosing wisely to have a variety of decks, because depending on my mood, on the energy that I'm feeling, I'm drawn to certain decks. Oracle and Tarot. The Knight of Swords for Divine Feminines, yes. That's the wondering part, right? That's what actually the face of that path, of the pathfinder or path follower. Please give us the card for Divine Masculine energy. All right. Four of Pentacles in reverse. And the card for the connection energy. What's going on in twin flame connection? Eight of Cups. Walking from things that don't serve us. Yes, this is a big part of the eclipse, and actually has a moon here as well. It actually almost has, to me, it actually looks like eclipse, to be honest with you, because it kind of has the moon and the sun sort of overlapping each other if you use your imagination a little bit. But it's not your usual kind of like night and moon inside it. It's different. Okay, bottom of the deck was Two of Pentacles, which in this deck is called balance. There is like actual word balance on it. So there is a lot of rebalancing, energetic rebalancing going on in the air, in the energetic field, in the collective field actually. Not just for twin flames, for everyone at this time. Please clarify the Knight of Swords. Okay. Knight of Wands. Nice. That's the wandering path again, right? The knights are usually, they're not exactly students like pages. They already have some knowledge and some experience, but this is like the improvers level, right? Like if you take several levels of learning something new, right? You usually have the beginners, the improvers, and the advanced level, or whatever. I'm not sure what that would be called. Yeah, so this is like the improvers, right? Like this is not the first layer, because you already have the foundation. This is the next level, but it still means that there is a lot to learn, a lot to discover on the way. And that's why usually nights are about movement, about going somewhere, because it's about like going out there and finding out for yourself through your own life experience. That's very important. It's more like the page energy is more about reading a textbook, maybe listening to someone, to like a mentor, and the night energy is more around, now I'm ready to go out there and try out what I know and learn more stuff through that practical experience. Please clarify for Pentacles in reverse. I will be doing a special edition reading for Halloween, for sure. And then of course we'll have the eclipse and the full moon on the 8th of November. And yeah, and that was something I was like, yeah, I was gonna do some other readings over the weekend. Yeah, I will be recording my November readings for Mindful Bamboo channel based on the zodiac sign. So I'll do them for each of the zodiac signs. So you should check those out for sure. We have King of Wands here in reverse. 2 reversals, interesting. Please clarify 8 of Cups for the connection. You can make it up, 8 of Cups. Yes. All right, so the feminines have got Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, and we have the enjoy the journey here. So yeah, like I was saying, this is about using your skills and enjoying the journey, not just by like hypnotizing yourself into that I'm supposed to be enjoying the journey, but making it enjoyable for yourself. And remember, I had that little channeled message at the beginning to make it your daily practice, something that brings you joy. There's got to be something in your daily routine that you do not just because you have to or someone expects you to, but because you know that that's gonna be like super exciting, that gives you a lot of happiness no matter what. And that's gonna be, like I said, especially important on days when you were in the low vibe, when you had a hard day, right? Something has to be there to brighten it up. And yeah, so this is like this is really about learning through experience in life and learning through putting yourself out there with your mission, with your ambition, with your creative ideas, right? It could even be something that's not necessarily business oriented, but again, that you do for yourself, something creative, because Knight of Wands, especially in this deck, is also about creativity. And again, applying it right in something you do. For example, I don't know, maybe you designed your first dress and you published it out there. It's like, yeah, there you go, this is like you're coming out as a dress designer, for example, right? Or you were learning how to play a musical instrument and you're doing your first performance, even if it's not an official concert, maybe you're doing it for your friends, for example. It's still that sort of idea, right, where you are actually sharing it more publicly for the world to know. But the point is that it's not just about that specific activity, it's also about the mindset around it that is different based on what you've learned. And that's why you perceive the whole experience differently. Even if you've done it before, you've seen it before, you've enjoyed it before, this feels new, this feels different, because of a different approach and different attitude from what you've learned through your spiritual journey, what it means to you. For the masculines, we have Four of Pentacles in reverse, clarified by King of Wands in reverse. So masculines are also trying, well, I mean, we already saw the moonlight energy, which is the feminine energy, right? It's about trusting and believing. And the masculines are like, with this, especially with this eclipse energy, they're being driven more towards intuition and following passion, following this inner wisdom, rather than just sticking to how do I make both ends meet, how do I earn this amount of money, how do I buy a house or a car or whatever it is, right? So it's letting go of those limited beliefs or those kind of priorities that masculines would normally have in life. Because right now, you see the king is in reverse. The idea is, and this is the driver, that there's no way to there's no freedom in what the masculine is doing. And it's very important to get into that space where masculines can express themselves. I can connect with this animal vibe, but also the shamanic wisdom. And you know, that's another way of how then the wisdom comes in, that it's the cause and effect is more about changing this vibe, right, and following your bliss in order to bring in the money that you want and whatever it is you're looking for in the material world, rather than trying to focus on like having a savings account and I don't know, putting in, I'm getting for a lot of masculines about putting in a lot of extra hours. You know, it's that idea that, you know, if I work extra, I'm gonna make more money. And for some people, it will be relevant to an extent. But it's like a very different, separate, big conversation on how that only works to some extent. And I know it not just as a light worker and someone on a spiritual path, I know it from the corporate world, from doing it for many years. Not necessarily myself in that way, but working with people who had that approach, who had that mindset, right? Just kind of culturally, we do have that mindset still. It's less and less relevant for like people who are in their 20s and younger, right? But for a lot of us who are 30 and older, we do have that mindset. So yeah, that's something for masculines to really reconsider. They're really being pushed, their boundaries are being pushed with that respect. And it takes, I mean, only imagine, like it takes a lot. It takes a lot for the universe to push them, a lot of energy, pushing energy. And it takes a lot of courage for masculines to reconsider this kind of priorities. Because, you know, the tangible things, they make sense. And that's what they know, that's what has worked. If they don't have, by some miracle, something to fall back on, if their plans don't work out, right? Like, I don't know, some inheritance, for example, right? Or again, like maybe savings from, I don't know, some specific projects they did a while back. Like, if they don't have that network, support network, then it's really hard to put aside those limitations and desires to kind of to hold on to what you have and not risk everything for the matter of your passions and desires. We're not taught that, we're not used to it, not really, right? We read it in fairy tales and sometimes we hear something quite poetic about it. We see it in movies sometimes, but it's not a collective mindset. It's not something that we're used to doing. Okay, and for the connection, we have Eight of Cups, clarified by Eight of Cups. So like I was saying, this, again, it's, to me, this is very much an eclipse energy where we're letting go, and this is part of that transformation in the sense of death and rebirth, right? And this is the part that where we need to remove things, objects, people from our life that are draining us, that are taken from us without giving us much satisfaction, joy, value. And I know it sounds a little transactional, but I mean, A, that's how the energy works. B, it's all about, I mean, it sounds a little harsh on a generic level, but when it comes to specifics, and of course you should consider it for your specific situation, right? It's all comparative, of course, I get it, yes. But at the end of the day, still there should be a decision. Is it worth it, really, for you? Right? Because if you're doing it so that other people think well of you, that they respect you, admire you, whatever, feel like you're their savior, it's not a good reason to be doing it. It will satisfy the ego, but then the question should be, if you're on the spiritual path, why do I need it so much? Why do I not have that inner satisfaction from who I am and how I lead my life? Why do I need to put out myself that way to feel happy about what people think about me and, you know, how much they admire me and that they're in my debt and all that stuff? I've actually, I had a big breakthrough with regards to this kind of mindset when I studied more, when I studied information about narcissistic personality disorder in more depth. And I was in this, for a while I was following one girl through her blog, and it was a very honest blog. She's a narcissist in therapy. So it's, if you're interested, well, actually she doesn't do it anymore. But yeah, it's in Russian. So unless you know Russian, I guess it's not gonna be much use. But it was a very, let's just say at that time, she was very active in it. She was doing posts in Telegram, and she was telling a very honest story of her own journey. And there is a big part of the whole, well, it's actually a big part of any toxic person, is the public profile. The public profile that they're trying to put out there is supposed to be impeccable. It's very important to them that they look like a very good person in public, to the public eye. And part of it, as surprising it may sound, is helping people and even doing volunteer work. You know, depending on what's the transaction in this case, right? How much fame or popularity am I gonna get out of it? And at the end of this girl specifically, she was doing some well, is it volunteering? No, it's more like charity work. She was doing to support animal shelters. And it looks like such a great deed, right? Like something so kind to do. And she was donating money. She was sometimes helping with like finding homes for those animals. Like she was involved. But at the end of the day, she said it herself, that she knows very well she's doing it for her egotistic reasons, to please her ego and for other people to be praising her, how great she is. She doesn't really care about the cause. It's more about the effect for her self-esteem, which is hurt because narcissists have a very damaged self-esteem and, you know, self-perception deep down. There's a huge trauma there, and that's one of the ways to compensate, right? So, and I'm not saying that, you know, any of you guys are like that. Of course, this is the extreme, but this is what shows us really well, because toxicity is also a scale. And it's all about this, like what is happening with the ego. It's like the ego journey, right? It's just also very important for us to understand while we are making these big decisions and we are reprogramming our own mindset of what is the right thing to do really in the world, right? Like there's so many shades of color and nuances here, which make all the difference. So yeah, this is about really diving deep to understand why you are doing what you're doing. And maybe it's time to say goodbye to some of those things. Actually, let me pull additional clarifier. Are there any specific topics that the twins are walking away from? Anything else we need to know about this energy of 8 of Cups? Page of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so to me, this is exactly what I was talking about why things that you do bring you satisfaction, for what reasons, right? In this case, in this deck, this is an energy of this excitement, right? And also creativity, but it's in reverse, right? So is it pure excitement because it's like this high vibe energy, or is it pleasing your ego, but it's not really something that you believe in or enjoy doing, right? Or it will get your, I don't know, parents off your back and will make you look like a good son or a good daughter, but deep down you hate it, right? This is about understanding how you feel, not how other people validate it for you. Okay, messages from Divine Masculines to Divine Feminines before we go. Okay. All right. We have, do you even care? You make my heart full, and let me hold you. So Divine Masculines, in a nutshell, the message is Divine Masculines care a lot, a lot, a lot. And if you're not in contact or you don't get to physically see each other, they miss you big time. Like they miss your presence. They miss your vibe. And because of this loneliness vibe, that's why the question comes up, do you even care? Because, you know, I mean, I'm sure you understand what it means when your loved ones are not around and you're like, well, I wish they would call me now. I wish we would be doing X, Y, Z. And you don't hear from them. And maybe there is a good reason for it. Of course, that's like, there is a good chance there is one. But that's what your wave of emotions is telling you. Like, oh, I'm not sure if they have the same, if I'm as important to them as they are to me. Because I'm here, like, you know, having all these feelings and emotions. And maybe they're just happy with where they are without me. That sort of vibe. But it's actually part of transformation for Divine Masculines at least for some of them, to realize or to remind themselves how important divine feminines actually are to them, even if they have been in denial and focusing on other things. From feminine, we have, I know you from somewhere. This is Six of Cups energy. I worry about us a lot and sex with you. So to me, actually quite a synchronized energy. So divine feminines also feeling the pull. They are missing their DMs. And because right now in 3D, things are not looking like the happily ever after, not like the Romeo and Juliet reunited, it does produce fear. Just like for the masculines, right? Feminine is not here, maybe she doesn't care, right? To start getting those feelings. The same for the feminine. They say I worry about us a lot because there is so much that's going on in each of our lives that there is a wondering like if this is gonna come together for us, if we're gonna pull through certain hardships we're going through. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of desire, a lot of attraction, and I would just say if you feel guided to message, to get in touch with your twin flame, please do that. If you're not guided to do that, or you prefer not to, you can definitely send each other support telepathically, energetically, right? Send your love, do the prayer, and leave it at that. You'll feel much better, and that will definitely get your message, get your encouragement. And give yourself a big hug. If you don't have anybody else to give you a hug, give yourself a big hug, and yeah, it will also change your day for the better. Okay, I hope this has been good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with my readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.